Good morning, 819S. It is May 27th, and today it is light rain is expected. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So looks like rainy season's kind of here, but the rain is pretty light. The temperature should be between 15 and 20 today, so should be a pretty cool or reasonable day. And I'm heading into work, so let's get going. So today I wanted to talk about 5 things that I learned from live streaming for over 30 days. So I believe this is day 33 or 34 of live streaming, and I switched. So today is the first day where I'm not live streaming. I'm just going to record a straight up video and then post that. The 5 things that I learned are, a lot to do with preparation, I guess. One is that you always need to be ready. Have a topic planned, have your route planned, have the timing planned, have everything kind of ready. Because if you're not ready, you might end up making some mistakes. And in this case of live streaming, there's no real edits, right? So once something's been streamed, it's kind of hard to undo. The YouTube Studio does allow you to cut sections out here and there, but yeah, overall, you can't reposition things, or you can't do too many really heavy edits. So yeah. The next one is bandwidth. Bandwidth can be unstable when you're moving. I guess I always knew that, but I never realized to what extent, because I thought kind of when I'm here and when I'm there and when I'm a little bit further up the street where I'm connecting to similar cell towers. So I thought that the connection would be a lot more stable than it was. One thing that I did notice, though, is that pocket Wi-Fi seems to be a lot more stable than tethering. I had a pocket Wi-Fi for different purposes for a little while, and I used that, and it seemed to give me slightly better results, slightly better quality stream. But yeah, I think regular live streaming, you're fine because you're usually stationary and you usually have a very strong bandwidth or very high-speed connection. Here in Japan, there are definitely really high-speed connections. So I think the connection, the internet connection I have at work is just the standard home connection, but it's 10 gig BPS, so my computer is only 1 gig BPS through Ethernet. I bought a 2.5 gig adapter for it, and a 10 gig adapter for it would be ludicrous. And not many websites can even dish out bandwidth at that speed, so it's really unnecessary. But I think the idea, many computers, if I have 10 computers connected and they're all using 1 gig, then I'm using a full 10 gig connection. But without getting too far off topic, the next one is, again, related to preparation. It's knowing the settings of the GoPro. Or whatever camera you're using. In my case, I'm using a GoPro. I have 3 different models. I have a 7 and a 9, which are really, really old models. And then I have a 13, which is a newer model, the newest model. 13 was a gift, and thank you so much to the person who gave it to me. I don't really have the budget for things like that these days, so I truly appreciate it. But when it comes to setting up a GoPro, getting the live stream, getting the app to connect to... Is it red? Is it green? Oh, it's green, okay. Getting the app to connect to... Getting the app to connect to your Wi-Fi interface is actually sometimes a little bit of a struggle. My pocket Wi-Fi didn't always show up in the list immediately, so I had to refresh the list a few times. My tethering also doesn't show up. So when I'm planning, I think, oh, it's going to take 30 seconds, it's going to take less than a minute to get the Wi-Fi set up. But no, it's taken probably up to 6 minutes or 7 minutes just to get the Wi-Fi set up. It's a little bit of a hassle. It's a little more annoying than I expected it to be. And then knowing bandwidth, coming back to that for a second, when I was in a tunnel, Again, I knew that you could lose bandwidth, or it wouldn't be as strong as it would be outside of the tunnel, but yeah, there's definitely weak spots when it comes to bandwidth, and getting the equipment set up right is a little bit of a pain. And then I guess the third one would be, again, related to settings on the camera. Making sure that you know how the mics work and that your mic works. Testing your equipment, make sure your battery's charged, make sure you know how the microphone sounds, make sure everything's placed and set up right, make sure the screws are tightened and everything's kind of adjusted to the way that you want it so that nothing moves during the live stream. Yeah, preparation is probably one of the biggest keys. Fourth one, where did I leave off? Bandwidth, equipment, preparation, topics. Yeah, I guess preparing in the sense of knowing what you want to talk about. So today I did make a list of the things that I want to do. I was running a little bit behind, so unfortunately today I couldn't review the list before I left the house. So I had each of these concepts hashed out a little bit more, but with the lack of review, I wish I had woken up a little bit earlier, so that I could have reviewed and refreshed the things in my mind, so that I knew what I wanted to talk about more clearly. But yeah, getting the topic prepared, and then, you know, considering the amount of don't look at that. Considering the amount of time that you're going to need, like my commute is typically about 20 to 30 minutes. That's a standard time. So if I want to speak for that whole time, or if I want to make a video highlighting my whole commute, I have to have about 20-30 minutes of topics prepared. There's the Edsel and the Camaro's Econoline in full 5K, maybe 4K when it's uploaded. Yeah, if you just want to make a really short video where you're going to talk about a main topic and you're not trying to show off your whole commute or something like that, then I think it's kind of easy. You don't need to fill the time. But if you want to show the entire trip from start to end, yeah, it's the best way to do it. Prepare. Plan. One more point when it comes to planning is I don't write out the whole script. I just have the key points of what I want to talk about. It's something I learned in university when you're giving presentations. A lot of people don't like public speaking, so they feel the need to write out the whole script and to prepare to practice and practice and practice it. And I think if you're giving a really important presentation, then that's really the right way to do it, because you know precisely what you're going to say, and having done it many times means theoretically you're going to be able to do it a lot more smoothly. But I think for something like a live stream, knowing the key points you want to talk about and knowing some minor details that you want to expand upon in order to emphasize that's a skill in itself too, kind of talking off the cuff or talking from a list of bullet points as opposed to planning out every single specific word that you want to say. So in my case, I like that. And then the fifth one, the last one, would have to be the fifth one, the last one would have to be the community. So I'm really, really, really grateful. More people joined the live streams when I was streaming live than I expected. And I actually got comments. So Royce especially, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I think you really kept me going, and reaching out and having a quick conversation on Instagram, really, that was so cool. Thank you so much. The community aspect is the one that's the most important to me. I do want to reach out to other riders. I want to go for rides. I'd like to, yeah, plan some rides with other people if I can. Wow, cool Astro van. That's not an Astro, is it? No, that's not an Astro. That was just a full-size Chevy van. Yeah, but as you could see, or maybe hear in my voice and see from my live stream schedule, I basically spend my life working. So I wish I had more time to disconnect and go for rides and meet up with people. But right now, making sure business is running smoothly and running properly is kind of a top priority for me. This guy wants to pass me. Cool Honda Ape. I think part of the reason I wanted people to watch was to see kind of life, weather, traffic, daily situation in Japan. You know, if I were hoping to come to Japan, I would probably want to see what things were like or what some expectations would be. And obviously, everyone's situation will differ. If I lived in Shinjuku, if I lived in Mie or somewhere, the traffic's going to be totally different. The weather's going to be a bit different. The reaction of people, like people running across the street or jaywalking or something like that's going to be quite different. But this is a slice of Japan. And I think, yeah, seeing it, when I started doing the live stream, I was doing a 720p stream. I tried doing a 180p stream or a 1080p stream. Oh. So the guy in the truck flashed his high beams telling me to go, but the girl on the bicycle was coming, so I couldn't really go. And whenever you see someone tell you to go and you can't see around them, it's always a good idea to slow down, because there could be a scooter or a motorcycle or a bicycle that comes darting out from behind that car that you have no idea is there. Yeah, I think seeing a higher quality video for people who have devices that can see the higher quality stream makes it better. Seeing 480 is kind of, at least for me, I don't like that. Seeing 720 is acceptable for most devices. 1080 is, I think, the gold standard. My bandwidth, I think, wasn't sufficient to keep a 1080 stream up and running. And if I do a regular video instead of live streaming, then it can be 4K and you can see everything. In fact, I think I have my settings set to 5K right now, which means that I have a little extra that I can crop if I need to stabilize it a little more or something like that. And my plan is minimal editing, cut out really long blank spots or anything that I didn't really want to say. I don't intend to add titles and music and stuff like that. But, you know, this is still the first month of live streaming, so this will be month 2, which means that it's a slightly different change. And my plan, my sincere plan, is to do 365 days. So if I can do one every single day, I'm hoping that my skill will have improved. My topics will be more interesting. The edit will be faster. It's just, it takes time. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe.